All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight live for a very brief yet very important show. This is probably going to be one of the most important shows I've done because I'm going to be discussing some things that are going to be coming to my network of channels out here on YouTube in early 2023 that will tremendously help you folks, especially, if you're struggling to pay your bills and you're a little bit short and you need some other options to make some quick cash. This is not a joke. This is not a scam. There are many ways that you can do this, and I'm going to share those tips and tricks with you folks, some of them tonight here briefly, but I'm going to more so lead you into what I'm going to be creating over on my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas, in the new year. So stick around for that. But before we get to all of that, let me first of all make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out, and it looks like it absolutely has. Let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that everything is rolling smoothly, and it absolutely is rolling smoothly. All right, so I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to make an announcement tonight that some of you are already aware of. The people that I know behind the scenes are aware of this, and others are not. But I'll be making an announcement in just a few minutes here regarding something that I've been doing on my spare time with my lady. And we'll get to that in a few. But the topic of this show is, what is the gig economy and what I've learned about it? One more time, what is the gig economy and what I've learned about it? If you haven't heard about the gig economy, then I have to ask you, where have you been? Unless you're living in the dark ages and don't have a smartphone and don't know about the many various and easy options you have to purchase things nowadays right from your smartphone and have them delivered to your home the same day within hours or less. If you don't know about that, then yeah, I got to say, where have you been? But this also brings an opportunity for people that are looking to make a little extra money or even a lot of extra money, right? The gig economy is basically, the word gig stands for gig, right? We all know what a gig is, right? Remember the old days where, and even nowadays, this happens with bands. When bands first start out, they go out and they look for gigs, right? Sometimes they'll play for free. Usually they'll start out playing for free. And then as they become more popular, they make a little more money. They start getting better gigs, right? And then, if they're really, really good and get discovered through these gigs, then they make it big and may get a recording contract, right? But let me share with you what Google and the dictionary and Investopedia says about the gig economy. The gig economy is a labor market characterized by the prevalence of short-term contracts or freelance work as opposed to permanent jobs. Working in the gig economy means constantly being subjected to last-minute scheduling. Let me read that one more time. The gig economy is a labor market characterized by the prevalence of short-term contracts or freelance work as opposed to permanent jobs. So basically, instead of working a corporate job, you're an independent contractor working for someone else and creating your own schedule and working when you want to work, right? Working in the gig economy means constantly being subjected to last-minute scheduling. Well, you choose that last-minute scheduling. I won't call it last-minute scheduling. I'll call it, choosing when you want to work. Working a job that, you can work when you want to work and you don't have to work when you don't want to work, right? But if you don't work, you make no money. If you work, you make money, right? Investopedia says, here is the definition of Investopedia. Gig economy, definition, factors behind it, critique, and gig work. I'm not going to show it on the screen. I'm going to read a little bit about it here so you folks that aren't aware of the gig economy what it actually is. A segment of the service economy based on flexible, temporary, or freelance jobs, often involving connecting clients and customers through an online platform, like your smartphone, right? The ghost of Whoosh Whoosh is in the house. Hello, the ghost of Whoosh Whoosh, and my lady's in the house as well, respectfully, maturely, and professionally in the other room there. Hey, babe, how are you? My lady says, there's my gorgeous, hard-working man. I'm a hard-working man. I put it all on the line for a piece of the promised land. Yeah, was that was I think that was Brooks and Dunn, right? Hardworking man. Yep. I'm burning my candle at both ends. About the only way to keep the fire going is to outrun the wind. Yeah. Thank you, baby, for the compliment there. Yeah, I worked all day today. I'll share more about that in just a little bit. But anyway, so to continue reading about the gig economy, what is a gig economy? A gig economy is a labor market that relies, I just read that, but it's there again, relies heavily on temporary and part-time positions filled by independent contractors and freelancers rather than full-time permanent employees. Gig workers gain flexibility and independence, but little or no job security. Many employers save money by avoiding paying benefits such as health coverage and paid vacation time. Others pay for some benefits to gig workers, but outsource the benefits programs and other management tasks to external agencies. So basically, the gig economy offers jobs that make you an independent contractor. When I used to sell insurance for professional insurance associates, I was an independent contractor. I worked on behalf of the products they were selling. I represented their company and the insurance carriers that they were appointed to, transact business through, right? So, I wasn't an actual employee. I was an independent contractor. That means I didn't get any benefits or anything like that. No paid time off, no nothing. I only make money when I sell. I would only make money when I would sell insurance. It's called a commission, right? And it's true. Little or no job security. That is true. But if you know what you're doing and you're a good salesperson and you're a hard worker and smart worker, you can make enough money to survive and sustain a living off of it and purchase your own benefits and give yourself your own vacations. The term is borrowed from the music world where performers book gigs that are single or short-term engagements at various venues. Key takeaways. The gig economy is based on flexible, temporary, or freelance jobs, often involving connecting with clients or customers through an online platform. The gig economy can benefit workers, businesses, and consumers by making work more adaptable to the needs of the moment and the demand for flexible lifestyles. Well, I started a new side hustle with my lady 2.5 weeks ago. I'm actually going to share with you folks what we're doing and what we're adding to the mix here in just a few. My lady and I, we had a bunch of unexpected expenses over the last several months, and it caught up to us. And the income that we've been bringing in, has fallen a little bit short to cover these unexpected expenses. So we decided to work the gig economy. We decided to become independent contractors for a few other companies, and we'll mention what we're doing here in just a few. So yeah, it makes work more adaptable to the needs of the moment and the demand for flexible lifestyles, right? Now, I wouldn't necessarily use the gig economy to be the main source of your income. Now there are people out there that are, running multiple gig economy businesses, and that is their sole, income stream. But until you become really good and understand how the system works and you know how to make constant money working many various gig economy jobs, I wouldn't recommend, quitting your day job or, letting go of any other income source that you have to, pay your bills. At the same time, the gig economy can have downsides due to the erosion of traditional economic relationships between workers, businesses, and clients. Right. Absolutely. Understanding a gig economy. In a gig economy, large numbers of people work in part-time or temporary positions or as independent contractors. The result of a gig economy is cheaper, more efficient services such as Uber or Airbnb for those willing to use them. Absolutely. Absolutely. A wide variety of positions fall into the category of a gig. The work can range from driving for Uber or delivering food to writing code or freelance articles. Adjunct and part-time professors, for example, are contracted employees as opposed to tenure track or tenured professors. Colleges and universities can cut costs and match professors to their academic needs by hiring more adjunct and part-time professors. Right. And here's the thing. When you hire independent contractors, you just hire them when you need them. You don't have to pay them benefits. You don't have to worry about unemployment or anything like that. I love being an independent contractor. I've been self-employed and or an independent contractor for the last 15 years of my life. And I've made more money than I made back in the days working in the corporate world. And I've had great flexibility. Now, yes, I have worked long hours and I do work long hours, but I'm my own boss, right? And when you're working as a self-employed entrepreneur or independent contractor, okay, you can take long breaks in between, the work you're doing, as long as you get the job done, right? You don't do the job, you don't get paid, right? But when you work, you will get paid. Let's see. The factors behind a gig economy. Let me see here. America's well on its way to establishing a gig economy. Well, it's already here. And estimates show as much as a third of the working population is already in some gig capacity as of 2021. Experts expect this working number to rise as these types of positions facilitate independent contracting work, with many of them not requiring a freelancer to come into an office. Gig workers are much more likely to be part-time workers and to work from home. You can make it a full-time, career and living. And that's part of what I'm going to be teaching here in 2023 and beyond over on my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas. So make sure you subscribe to my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas, and by sharing the link in the chat every 7 minutes, or you can go below the description a couple lines down and click the link there, or just go to youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. That's youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. Subscribe over there, bang the bell, select the notifications, and that way you won't miss anything. Because coming the first or second week of 2023, I'm going to be creating regular videos, at least 5 days a week. And it's going to be primarily on the gig economy. I will be doing other content there as well, some personal content too, but I'm going to start to focus more on business aspects as well over on my main channel, because I am a business and personal life coach, success coach, aka relationship coach. All right. Employers also have a wider range of applicants to choose from because they don't have to hire someone based on their proximity. Right. That's location. Additionally, computers have developed to the point that they can either take the place of jobs people previously had or allow people to work just as efficiently from home as they could in person. Well, with GPS and all that stuff, yeah. I mean, the smartphone changed everything. The smartphone absolutely changed everything and has allowed so many more of these types of jobs. And I'll tell you, it's great. In my opinion, I think it's great. It's wonderful. Important. In the modern digital world, it is becoming increasingly common for people to work remotely from home. This trend accelerated during the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. Right. I was already primarily working from home, even back in the days when I was selling insurance. You don't need to go into an office. You don't need to rent an office, right? You just need your computer and the software you use to run your quotes and, maybe Adobe Acrobat full version, to fill out forms, and you're good to go. Economic reasons also factor into the development of a gig economy. Employers who cannot afford to hire full-time employees to do all the work that needs to be done will often hire part-time or temporary employees to take care of busier times or specific projects. On the employee side of the equation, people often find they need to move or take multiple positions to afford the lifestyle they want. It is also common to change careers many times throughout a lifetime, so the gig economy can be viewed as a reflection of this occurring on a large scale. Okay. Nothing more to add to that. It speaks for itself. In 2020, the gig economy experienced significant increases as gig workers delivered necessities to homebound customers, and those whose jobs had been eliminated turned to part-time and contract work for income. Yeah, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, Instacart, Grubhub, to name a few. And we'll talk more about those in just a bit. Employers will need to plan for changes to the world of work, including the gig economy, when the crisis has ended. Let's see here. I'm just going to read this one last part, the criticisms of the gig economy. And I'm going to end up sharing the link of this in the description section below. Let me see here. Give me just 1 second here. Link to article. All right. So, criticisms of the gig economy. Despite its benefits, there are some downsides to the gig economy. While not all employers are inclined to hire contracted employees, the gig economy trend can make it harder for full-time employees to develop in their careers, since temporary employees are often cheaper to hire and more flexible in their availability. Workers who prefer a traditional career path and the stability and security that come with it are being crowded out in some industries. Right. I mean, if employers can hire independent contractors to do the same work without paying benefits, I mean, why wouldn't they? And why would you want to be confined to a 9-to-5 job when you can just work a couple, 2-3 side gigs and make a full-time income off of that and have enough money to buy your own insurance and all that stuff? And a lot of these companies, they give you a stipend for, insurance. So it's great. It's absolutely great. For some workers, the flexibility of working gigs can actually disrupt the work-life balance, sleep patterns, and activities of daily life. Flexibility in the gig economy often means that workers have to make themselves available anytime gigs come up, regardless of their own needs, and must always be on the hunt for the next gig. Competition for gigs has increased too, and unemployment insurance usually doesn't cover gig workers who can't find employment. 2020's CARES Act made an exception. Yeah, so, most gigs have a peak period. For example, if you're, delivering food, or if you're, driving like Uber or Lyft, right? There are peak periods where it's busier. So if you want to make the most money, you got to work during those times. I'll share more about my experience in just a few minutes here, but let me just get through this because, I'll tell you what's worked for me. I'm not going to let the entire cat out of the bag because I'll be making some pre-recorded videos for the main channel coming up in 2023, the beginning of 2023. But I'll share a little bit here tonight to kind of entice you folks to tune in. In effect, workers in the gig economy are more like entrepreneurs than traditional workers. Exactly. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for over 15 years. While this may mean greater freedom of choice for the individual worker, it also means that the security of a steady job with regular pay, benefits, including a retirement account, and a daily routine that has characterized work for generations are rapidly becoming a thing of the past. Well, you get your own retirement. You get an IRA, individual retirement account. You get your own insurance. If you're an independent contractor for many of these companies, they offer you a stipend, right? You have options, right? You have options, and you can make way more money even with these, these side hustles, these jobs in the gig economy. You can make more money than your regular job if you just work. That's it. And I'll be sharing my tips on that when I start making my pre-recorded videos again on my main channel in the new year. Let me see here. Give me a second here. Let me see here. Huh. Give me a second here. Yeah, you know what, babe? I know that you banned Cast and Blast. They just said donation incoming. So I'm going to unhide them. Just for now. Just keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on them. And, all they said was donation incoming. I mean, I don't, they could be trolling, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Unless they say something that's ban worthy, then just let them stay. And if you're a genuine person, Cast and Blast, my apologies. My apologies on that. All right. Let's continue here. All right. Let's see. Lastly, because of the fluid nature of gig economy transactions and relationships, long-term relationships between workers, employees, clients, and vendors can erode. This can eliminate the benefits that flow from building long-term trust, customary practice, and familiarity with clients and employers. Yeah, speaks for itself. Nothing more to add to it. It could also discourage investment in relationship-specific assets that would otherwise be profitable to pursue, since no party has an incentive to invest significantly in a relationship that only lasts until the next gig comes along. Right. I mean, look, some gigs are one time. Some gigs are, permanent and allow you to work when you want to work. So it all depends on the type of gig that you have, right? And I wouldn't consider it called job hopping. You're an independent contractor and you're going to accept the jobs that A, pay you the most, and B, allow you the greatest flexibility, right? That's the bottom line. Well, I might as well just read this whole thing. It's almost done here. What is an example of a gig economy? Examples of a gig economy are those jobs that individuals discover and access through online platforms that list such jobs. These jobs are often one-time or short-term contract jobs. These include driving for a ride-sharing service, right? Uber, Lyft, to name a couple. Painting someone's house, freelance work, right? It's a lot of freelance work. Web designers, graphics designers. That's a few things to mention there. Writers, people that want to write a book can hire a writer. There's a lot of freelance work happening nowadays, and that's how some people get started. Fitness training, coaching, fitness training, and tutoring, right? Coaching, that's what I do here. The job is exchanged for cash, and there are no other benefits such as health insurance. Right. You buy your own health insurance with the money that you make. That's the bottom line. That's how it works. It's always worked that way for self-employed entrepreneurs / independent contractors. What are the benefits of the gig economy? The gig economy has many benefits for both the employee and employer. An employer has access to a wide range of talent they can hire. If the talent proves to be less than acceptable, there is no contract to keep the employee on or issues of letting them go. In addition, In a time when it has become difficult to attract full-time workers, employers can hire from the gig economy. Yeah. So, for example, if you're on these, apps where, you drive like Uber and Lyft, or if you deliver food, which is another, driving, type of job, delivering type of job, you can get deactivated if you screw up. If you screw up, you get deactivated and that's it. And, that's part of the terms of service and part of your independent contract. And that's that. And part of an independent contract is, they can terminate you at any time for any reason. So, yeah. So you can come and go as you wish. You work when you want. You just don't make money when you don't work. But if you screw up, they just let you go, and that's it. Done deal. They're not, liable for you, and etc. It's just okay. It didn't work out. All right, that's it. Go find some other independent contractor to work for. Right. Let's see here. In addition, hiring gig workers can be more affordable as companies don't have to pay for health insurance or other benefits for employees. The gig economy's benefits include having the option to do multiple jobs, work from anywhere, depending on the specific job, freedom and flexibility in their daily routine. So I've known people in the past that work both Uber and Lyft. They drive for Uber and Lyft. And that's known as multi-apping, right? And companies don't really like that. But hey, I mean, it's better than just sitting around, waiting, for work, right? If you're on two, services, if you're doing the gig economy with two services such as Uber and Lyft, you're less likely to have downtime and you're going to be more likely to be able to maximize your earnings during the period of time you work on that particular day. Is the gig economy worth it? I have to say, yeah, absolutely. To the individuals working in the gig economy, is it worth it? Studies show that 79% of individuals who work in the gig economy are more satisfied than when they were working traditional jobs. I'm one of them. I'm never going to go back into the corporate workforce, right? I've been an independent contractor for 15 years / self-employed, right? Used to sell insurance, right? Now I've been running this coaching business for 5.5 years, and I'm doing some other things that I'll mention here in just a second here. There's no shame in mentioning these things because, you can never have too many income streams, right? Let's see here. Hire a pro. Compare 3. Okay, I don't need to read that. I think that's a promo. Okay, so that's that for Investopedia's article or definition of what the gig economy is. All right. So, so here's my experience with my lady. My lady and I have been working DoorDash for the last 2.5 weeks or so. And we also just recently signed up for Uber Eats. We also signed up for Grubhub. Now, Grubhub has a wait list. You want to get on that wait list if you're looking to deliver food. The best place to start is DoorDash. They are the biggest and the best. It used to be Grubhub. I made $2,200 a month on a fart fetish website. Okay, well, that's going to get you banned. Because you're trolling. So that was something that was ban-worthy right there. Yeah, Grubhub used to be number one. DoorDash came in, and they started to add menus. They started to add the businesses' menus to their app, and that just kicked everyone's butt. You can go on to DoorDash. I think the rest of them have updated this now too, but DoorDash was the first to put the price and the food and pictures of the food. I mean, that's a great idea. You can go onto the DoorDash app and, find whatever you want to eat. There are pictures there. The price is there. You can customize it. You can leave special instructions and have it dropped off at your door. All in less than an hour, sometimes less than 30 minutes, right? Great idea. Excellent idea, right? But my lady and I, we've been working together, doing this for about 2.5 weeks now. And I will tell you, when you first start, it starts off pretty slow because you have to build your credibility. But I will tell you folks this, I'll give you a little sneak peek of what's to come in the new year when I start to create more videos on this, because I'm going to be working this as a side hustle for a little while. And also probably be doing some other apps like, if I'm able to get into Grubhub, and I've already, started with Uber Eats. It's just that I'm waiting for that Uber Eats Pro card, whatever you call it, to come in the mail. And once that comes, within 7 to 10 days, I'm going to be running that at the same time. So it starts off very slow. And a lot of people complain because when you first start out, there are a lot of crappy orders. And a lot of people say you can decline the crappy orders, right? And just wait for the good ones to come. But see, these companies are incentivizing their Jenny Sadler with the $20. Jenny Sadler with a $20 super sticker. Oh my God, Jenny. Big round of applause. Wow. Wow, Jenny. That's very kind of you. Jenny, how are you doing? Jenny, if you're looking for a part-time side gig to make some extra money, I'm going to be talking a lot more about the gig economy in 2023 on my main channel. And I'm going to be sharing my experiences. I'm going to be sharing screenshots and showing a lot of detail, right? And I'm going to be sharing the truth about how, these food delivery services work, such as DoorDash and Grubhub and, Uber Eats and Postmates. I'm probably not going to sign up for Postmates because they're not that good in this area. Postmates is probably the least used nationwide. They used to be pretty good many years ago, but right now, basically, it's DoorDash, Uber Eats. Well, number 2 is probably Grubhub, and then number 3 is Uber Eats, in my opinion there. But thank you again, Jenny, for the $20 super chat. I mean, this month has been an incredible month for donations and super chats here on this channel. And I'm just very, very blessed at everyone that donated. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. My pleasure. Happy holidays. Well, it's great to see you here, Jenny. It's really nice to see you here. And the Walking with Purpose streams will be back soon. I've just been working my tail off with my lady, working our side hustle. We've been doing a lot of door dashing, and we've got some extra bills to pay, and it's paying off. It's paying off. But before I go off the air here, let me just share with you folks my first 2.5 weeks that my lady and I have experienced. Can you detail your expenses and earnings per hour too? Well, I will do that in the pre-recorded videos in the new year, but not live here tonight. This is more like a prelude. Hey, babe, how you doing?
Hey there.
My lady's passing by. Yeah, that was very kind of Jenny. Very kind of Jenny, and we're very grateful. Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And we appreciate it. This is also part of the gig economy. Like being out here on YouTube, you're an independent contractor, is what you are. You're an independent contractor with YouTube for the YouTube Partner Program, but also I'm self-employed for other aspects of my business outside of YouTube. So this is a part of the gig economy here. So, the dogs are whining in the background, but that's okay. That's okay. They will stop. My lady passed on by to take care of a few things for a bit. But yeah, Woosh, I will be detailing everything on the main channel throughout pre-recorded videos or through pre-recorded videos. At the beginning of this year, or starting week 2 of January 2023. And I've been taking lots of screenshots. So basically, when you start out with DoorDash, you don't have any experience and you're working on building your rankings. And what I've noticed, the two most important things are, your customer rating, which it needs to be above 4.2 or you can be deactivated. Mine's at 5.0, 5-star. And also, you need to have at least a 50% acceptance rate in your last 100 deliveries, right? If you have 50% or greater, between 50 and 69%, you will get priority orders. If you have your acceptance rate over 70%, you will get first priority on higher paying orders, right? So after 2.5 weeks, my acceptance rate, I've done, I think, close to 70 deliveries. My acceptance rate, my lady and I have done 70. And I've gone up on my own. Earlier tonight, I went out on my own, but my lady usually comes with me during the day. Sometimes she'll come out with me at night. Sometimes I'll go out at night by myself. But my acceptance rate is 95%. So, I'm very reliable. I have no customer complaints. I can let me pull this up here real quick. Let me see here. My completion rate is 99%. There was only one delivery out of 72 lifetime deliveries that I couldn't complete. It was a couple nights ago. This apartment, I couldn't get in it. I tried calling the customer, texting her, calling her, and she texted me back. She said she wasn't home. I told her, I said, I'm going to have to, reassign this to another driver when you're home because, number one, I couldn't find her place because the way the complex was set, you had to get in through this, this door, and she wasn't there. So, that's what kept me from a perfect 100. And then, they have an on-timer early, which mine was higher, but now it's 82%, which is medium. The thing is, once you start getting to, a high acceptance rate and a high customer rating, and you're getting priority orders, a lot of times you will get stacked orders back to back, right? And if the first restaurant or the second restaurant doesn't have the order ready when you go to pick it up, right, it'll make you late, even if it's not your fault, and you get dinged for that. So, my on time or early, would be well over 90%. Now, there were a few times where, yes, I did get lost, and, sometimes that happens. But the majority of the time when you're late, it's because the restaurant doesn't have the order ready when you go to the restaurant. So that is that. So anyway, I'll just mention this before we go off the air and to give you just a little preview of what's to come. Today, my lady and I, we drove probably a couple hours in the morning, and I drove about probably 4 hours, maybe a little less than 4 hours tonight, and we made $110. It may not seem like a lot, but it's actually a pretty decent side hustle, right? For working, 5-6 hours, right? Okay. Now, that's why a lot of people that do this type of work in the gig economy, that's why they do what's called multi-apping, because they're able to take orders from multiple companies and there's less downtime. Sometimes you may start, a door dashing shift, and you can schedule yourself. You start a door dashing shift at 5 o'clock at night, and let's say you don't get your first order until 6, right? Or let's say you get a couple right when you start, and then you're back, wherever wherever you're parking, which is going to be typically in a hot spot with a lot of restaurants and stuff, right? You're back at 5:45 after delivering your first couple orders, and then you get nothing for an hour, right? Well, what if you had, Grubhub or Uber Eats and something came up during that hour? You could have maximized that time making something else. And that's what I'm going to help people, more so understand in 2023. And there are a lot of creators. I'll wrap up by saying this, and then I'll share more about this in the new year on my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas. There are a lot of creators out here that say, don't focus on your completion. Sorry, not your completion rate. Sorry. Don't focus on your acceptance rate. Don't worry about it. And I'd have to say, no, it does matter. It does matter. Your acceptance rate does matter. And you're going to want to do whatever you can to keep it over 70%. That means you need to accept, 7 out of 10 orders, right? You can reject 3 out of every, 10 orders and still be at 70%. And that will give you first priority above everyone else over on higher paying orders. And that's why when I went out, when I first started this with my lady 2.5 weeks ago, it was slow. We were pulling in $30, $40, $50 a day, sometimes $25, $30 a day. Now we're pulling, close to 100 per day or more than 100 per day. Why? Because the majority of orders that we get are higher paying orders because we've proven ourselves that we're trustworthy to get the deliveries done. And that's what they're looking for. Any company is going to reward their best subcontractors or independent contractors or, employees, right? And DoorDash does it the same way. But a lot of creators, they'll come out here on YouTube and, they say it doesn't matter, right? And I think they know it matters, but a lot of times these creators will, make all this stuff up just so they can have another piece of content to get views on YouTube. I'm going to share with you folks the truth about how to, work the gig economy, have a flexible schedule, and, make it what you want it. Do you want just a little side hustle to bring a little extra money? And, if you have a main job and you love that, and it pays your bills and it gives you benefits and all that, but you want a little extra money to go on some nice vacations every now and then, hey, you can look at it that way and work it, on a part-time basis. If you want to make it a full-time gig, then you're going to have to put in a lot of time and effort and run multiple apps, and we're going to talk more about that. But we'll talk more about that, in the new year on the main channel through some pre-recorded videos. And I will occasionally do some lives on it as well, too. But it'll be more pre-recorded stuff with screenshots and showing you folks how this actually works. But yeah, no, your acceptance rate does matter, okay? And your customer, surveys do matter. Jenny says, my friends and I share content on saving money tips and budgeting best practices. Well, Jenny, I think sometime in the new year, we should, I don't know if you folks, are you creating content with them out here on YouTube? I'd love to check that out. And I'd also love to maybe talk with you and your friend, and we can do a live stream on this sometime in the new year. Let me know if that interests you. You can email me at coacheli@coacheliasmelas.com, and that email is below in the description, or also at the About section or on the About section of, my channel here. So that is that. All right, folks. I've been on for 44 minutes. It's 11:48 p.m. Pacific, 2:48 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to get on out of here. There's a lot more coming, folks. A lot more coming. Now, for the rest of the year, you may get 1 or 2 more pieces of content. My lady and I are pushing hard to reach a certain goal. to, pay off all our bills by January 1st. And we are very, very close. 2 days to go. So wish us luck, right? Yeah, we're not wasting any time. This, what I do out here on YouTube, this is what I love the most, right? But right now, this is not, bringing in enough income, right? And I need some extra income to catch up on some unexpected bills between my lady and I over the past several months, right? Okay. But this is something that I enjoy doing, and I'm going to continue doing it, and I continue to, push forward and just see where it goes, right? In the meantime, I'm going to work other side hustles in the gig economy, right? And supplement the other income that I've had that is the majority of my income. And that's what you should do too. So folks, thank you to everyone for being here. Jenny, thank you for the $20 super sticker. Happy holidays to you and yours. It was great to see you here. Have a great night, she says. Feel free to reach out to me. Email me, Coach Eli at coacheli@melas.com. Jenny, you can email me, or anyone else can email me with any questions, comments, concerns, or if you'd like to work together on a video or a project in the new year, I'm open to it. With that being said, have yourselves a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other.